Okay. Antonio Brown is being traded to the Oakland Raiders. The Pittsburgh Steelers get back a third and a fifth round pick. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The Eagles, their name was involved with Antonio Brown, and I didn't really want to go that route. He's a big-time diva. He wants a lot of money. I did not want to go that way, and I'm very glad that the Raiders were the one to pull the trigger. Now, I'll be honest with you. Also, I don't understand the logic behind the Raiders with this. They didn't want to pay Khalil Mack, but they go out and spend a ton of money to go grab this diva of the NFL. It clearly makes their team better, without a doubt. Antonio Brown makes their offense more effective, and they're a better team with him, but that's a lot of money. So, according to Adam Schefter, the Raiders are actually adding money to AB's contract. He will have 3 years, $50.1 million with incentives to go to 54.1 essentially, and that's $30 million guaranteed on top of that. It's an enormous amount of money for a wide receiver, but with everything that went down with Pittsburgh, he really wanted to make a lot of noise with this. Let's be real. In the Steelers' regards, I thought I was disappointed with the 5th round pick in 2020 for Michael Bennett. The Steelers, they had their hands tied behind their back. Listen, sports these days, it seems like players have the power. The players really do hold these teams and these organizations hostage, really. They had no choice. It's either, what do? You keep him for all that money and he doesn't play, or you get rid of him, you ship him out, and whoever offers you the most, you take in 3rd and 5th. I mean, if that's the most, that's the most. That sucks, but in today's sports, the players hold the organizations hostage. I'm kind of mind blown right now. I was literally in bed just kicking back, watching SportsCenter Refresh and Twitter, and I see AB with a verbal agreement to go to the Oakland Raiders. Wow. Derek Carr, John Gruden. I'm just curious to see how it all plays out. Now listen, like I said, it makes their team better, but I don't understand the logic behind, we don't want to pay Khalil Mack a lot of money, but Antonio Brown, yeah, let's go spend all this cash on the biggest diva in the National Football League. Keep in mind that the Oakland Raiders defense is still a big-time issue. John Gruden was talking about it all season long. We got no pass rush. It's so weird. We have no pass rush. I wonder why. But I'm not going to crush this and say it doesn't make their team better, because it does. But to jack up the money, make AB happy, I guess. It's just a lot of money for a playmaker like that, and one you can't really trust. There's a big-time difference between Antonio Brown's mentality and mindset when it comes to being the guy and making all this money compared to somebody else. So when you go all in like this, you need to really make sure that you can trust it. He's an awesome player, phenomenal. He's an athlete. He's amazing. He's got hands. He's got speed. But it goes a long way when there's a certain, when there's a certain aspect to him where you need to, you just got to be careful. You got to be careful with guys like Antonio Brown, because you just saw what he did to Pittsburgh. That's all I'm saying. This is just, it's crazy. I mean, what he's done when it comes to being at the top of the game, he's clearly amazing. But I can't believe he's going to Oakland. You figure that one of these teams were going to take a shot on him, one that has a ton of money to spend and all that. And it's interesting to me because you heard the news about him going to Buffalo, and then he said, I'm not going to Buffalo. Fake news. He's tweeting back out, fake news. I'm not going to Buffalo. Once again, holding teams hostage. But he's all on board for going to Oakland. Now, is that just because San Francisco compared to Buffalo? Is that a location thing? Because when it comes to team aspects, with all due respect, the Oakland Raiders are nowhere near ready to contend. Antonio Brown isn't going to take this team to the playoffs considering where they were last year. The head coach lost the team, essentially. The head coach made terrible decisions when it came to just letting Khalil Mack go. And then complaining about not having a pass rush. The Oakland Raiders organization is not the smartest in the world. But I sit here and say, damn, I mean, it's a big time move. The Raiders are going for it. I guess you got to give them credit for that. It's better than sitting back and doing nothing and just attacking the draft with all those picks you got for Khalil Mack. I wonder if Derek Carr can get him the ball. What if he can't? What if he struggles to get Antonio Brown the ball? What if AB is unhappy because he's just not being effective because Derek Carr isn't Big Ben? And I'm not saying Big Ben's this unbelievable, outstanding, best quarterback ever. But Derek Carr? This offense? I'm just I don't know what to think about it right now. I really don't. My mind's all over the place trying to process this, and it's just crazy. And the Steelers getting fleeced a third and a fifth for arguably the best wide receiver in the game. But what do you do? Is there any other choices that you had as the Steelers front office? What can you really do when this player is being like this? And it's all the noise and it's all the controversy. You really just have your hands tied behind your back, and this is the only move you can do. If this is the best offer you have, you got to get rid of them, right? You have to bite the bullet and say, okay, we are moving forward with this crap. We don't want to be involved anymore. The only way we can do that is to ship him out of here. Whatever we get, we get. Let's move forward as an organization because this is driving us crazy and we can't keep dealing with the diva. Antonio Brown to the Raiders. Let's take a look at his stats. AB stats. 2018, about 1,300 yards and 104 receptions, 15 touchdowns. 2017, 101 receptions, about 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns. And then 3 years in a row, 12 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns. An 1,800-yard year in 2015. Yeah, I mean, he's unreal. He's unreal. But it's a big package. It comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of noise. I wonder if John Gruden played a factor. I wonder what Antonio Brown thinks of John Gruden. Well, for him to be this accepting of it, he's clearly got to think highly of it. But I still have to factor in that it's Oakland, that it's California. It's a different lifestyle. It's a totally different environment. And that played a big factor compared to the Buffalo thing. Now, is Oakland in a better position than Buffalo? Yeah, probably. It's just crazy. It's a crazy move. It's a blockbuster move here for the National Football League. Now, of course, it's not official 100% yet. That's why it's verbal because of when the free agency market hits and all. But I'm glad the Eagles didn't make the move. I don't want him. It's a lot. The culture here in Philadelphia is not ready for something like that, and I don't think ever will be. I'm happy. I am. But I'm also intrigued to see how this plays out for both organizations. Not really Pittsburgh in reality. I guess it's just I'm curious to see how it works out in Oakland with Derek Carr and this offense and this team that was really underachieving last year and still big holes on the defensive side. And spending all that money for a wide receiver when there's so many other issues with that roster. But he's top tier at the position. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's a diva. I want to know your thoughts down below on this move. Clearly, I think we can all agree that the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't get as much as he's worth, but that's what happens when your hands are tied like this. But how do you think this plays out for Antonio Brown? One, would you have liked him on the Eagles? Because, to be honest with you, no, not for that kind of money. Think about the money part. Like I said, the Raiders are adding money to AB's deal. 3 years, $50.1 million. Incentives can make it $54.1. And guaranteed money's $30. That is so hefty. But how do you think it works out? How do you think it plays out in Oakland? Is that a good fit? Do you think it's just because of location that he's saying, what the hell, let's do it? What happens when Derek Carr struggles to find him and struggles to get the football to him? What if they're losing games consistently? I guess it doesn't matter when you get the payday. Let me know your thoughts down below. This is crazy. See you next time.